Welcome back to another video. In the last video we looked at the differences between a module, a package, a library and a framework, and in this video we'll take a closer look at libraries. First, let's go over some high level details on what a library is. A library is a collection of pre-written code that you can use in your program by importing it in. Libraries typically provide functions, classes and variables and objects. Basically, they are statements and definitions that you can use to perform specific tasks without having to write the code from scratch. So libraries are there to use to meet specific requirements. Libraries save time and effort by offering ready-made solutions to common requirements, so you don't have to write code from scratch yourself. There is a library called the standard library, and the standard library comes with a ton of commonly used modules, and you can see a complete list of the modules at the website over here, python.org. It's called the Python Module Index. It's basically this website here, and it shows us the complete list of modules within the Python standard library. So here are all of the modules you get with the Python standard library, and we will have a look at a few of these modules, the common ones anyway, such as the math module, as well as the random module, and the other one, the datetime module. In fact, we will take a look at these next. So how do we get to see these modules? So we can see a complete list of the standard library, as we have already seen on the standard library index, or we can take a look at the standard library within our local systems, as these modules are just files, and we can see where they are typically stored. So the user local bin is for Unix based systems, or the program files Python lib is if it's a Windows based system. So these are the paths for the respective operating systems where you will find the libraries. Next, we will take a look at the standard library within our local system. So I'll do a demo of this, as these modules are just files that we are able to access. So let's hover over to them now and take a look. Now, if you don't know exactly where your files are, we can import a module. Let's say we import the sys module, and then if we run sys.path, it shows all of the paths for Python. So what we will do is x equals sys.path, and then we will print x. So sys.path is a built-in variable within the sys module, and it contains a list of directories that the interpreter will search in for the required module. So now if we run the file, we can see all of the paths for Python. If I scroll to the right, in particular, we can see C program files, Python version 3.11 lib. Or what else we can do, and this can be for the sys module as well, or for any other module. Let's go with datetime module instead. So let's import datetime. And then what we do is print its location by using a dunder method, which is a special type of method with a double underscore before and after. And the one we are after is called file. Now let's run the file. And what we can see is where the module is located. So again, program files, Python 3.11, library, and then we see the module, datetime.py. Now if I go to my Explorer and open up documents, let's go to my C drive, program files, Python 3.11 lib, and then let's search for D. I should get the datetime module inside here, and here it is. And we can see all of the other modules in here as well. So let's go back up to datetime and double click the file. And the file opens in PyCharm. And we can see the datetime module. Of course, there will be a lot of things going on inside here. But the whole point is you now know how to locate a module from the standard Python library, which is pre-installed when you install Python. So let's close the datetime.py module. And of course, the datetime module was just a file saved with a .py extension, although there's much more going on in the code than the ones that we created. So we already have datetime imported. What we can do is something like current underscore date equals datetime dot, and the one that I am after is the top one, date. So let's double click date and again use the dot notation, and I can see the methods inside here, which is the first one. So we will double click today, and then we will print current underscore date to the screen. Let's run the file. And as we can see, this provides us with the current date of today. Or we can import another module. So let's go for this module here. Let's import random. So the first thing we will do is create a list. Let's call the list cars equal So I've created a list of cars: Ford, BMW, Audi, Mercedes and Toyota. The next thing I will do is create a variable my_random_list equals random dot notation, and from here I will pick out choice, this one here, double click choice, and inside the parenthesis we will pass cars as an argument, and finally let's print cars to the screen and run the file. Actually, it's printing out my cars to the screen. What I actually meant is to print my_random_list to the screen. Let's run the file. So this time it's picking out a random item from my list. So the first time it's picked out BMW. If I run it again, it's picked out Toyota, again Mercedes, back to BMW, Ford, Audi. So it's randomly picking out an item from the list cars. And of course there's many other modules in here. There's the operating system module if you want to have a look at your operating system or do anything with it. So all of the files, so all of the modules are in here if you wanted to play around with them. If you wanted to gather some information with your operating system, this would be the module you need.